In its first full season, Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live reached over 2 million people. Crazy if you think about it. We see this as more than just a podcast. It's a movement to bring the spotlight to the tracks, racers, and fans of Kentucky dirt racing. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of people to talk to. This is Kentucky's Dirt Racing Podcast. Welcome to another edition of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
And welcome into another episode of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. Every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, you can count on one thing, and that's myself and Worldwide Wes Lanham being here on your wherever you listen, watch this, YouTube, Facebook. You can watch it on either platform. But Wes, it's good to be here tonight. An awesome weekend this past weekend, a lot to talk about, and just good to be back on here again and get another show under our belt for the 2024 season.
Yeah, it is, brother. Looking forward to it. We've got another really good show on tap for everybody tonight. So just glad to be back on here and talk about the last weekend, and then also talk about what we got in store for this week and weekend coming up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely a lot to get to. I can't wait to get started here. This is the Wilson Plumbing studio. Give our good buddy Robbie Wilson a call for all your plumbing needs. He'll take care of you. And then you can call the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. That number is 859-412-1287. We are going to have a special guest on the hotline, so we won't be able to take any calls until we get finished with that, because we're going to have Wayne Bowen on here with us in just a few minutes. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline, be sure to give them a call, and they'll certainly take care of you. After we get finished with that call, though, with Wayne Bowen, please give us a call, man. We want to talk to some race fans here tonight as we kind of get into the flow of things here on our regular programming here on the podcast. We want to hear from you for sure. But, man, first of all, looking forward to talking to Wayne Bowen here in just a few minutes. I think that's going to be a lot of fun catching up with him.
Yeah, it is. I just hope that he'll release some of those good racing stories that he's got, because he's been in the business and around it and for a long time, and just a great guy for the sport here in the state of Kentucky, especially Central Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And just looking forward to talking with him, and just thanking him for all that he does for our racers and our tracks.
Yeah, for sure, man. He's I know he's got some stories to tell. I mean, he's been in this sport. He's meant as much to this sport as anyone. Just with his business and everything that he's done, and the support that he's given, to people in this sport here locally. It's kind of, there are few that have given back to this sport. As much as he has over the years. He's really just been a tremendous asset to dirt racing here in Kentucky. That's for sure. If you don't mind, I do want to say real quick, if you don't mind, share this with your friends, please. Share it anywhere and everywhere possible. Get the word out. Let's get as many people on here as we possibly can, and let everyone else hear what Wayne has to say coming up here in just a few minutes. But before we get to him, Wes, quickly let's talk about this past weekend. It was a huge weekend here in the area, and I know you were able to get down to Lake Cumberland Speedway on Saturday night. So tell us about that trip.
Yeah, it was great to get back to Lake Cumberland Speedway. That's one of our tracks, and just to see everybody, all of our dirt racing friends there at Lake Cumberland Speedway, and our drivers, and just fun. I mean, it's like one of them deals that you get to see family that you ain't seen in a couple months, and the racing was good. The track was smooth as a baby's bottom. Great racing throughout the night. Hayden Cardwell won the American All-Stars Crate Lake Model 5000 to win 50 laps. So he put on a show there about mid race and took the lead. Skylar Marler was leading, and he took the lead from him. And then Dustin Linville, they had a really good battle there, and Dustin got by him late in the feature for second, and then Skylar rounded out the podium finish. So really good night. Just like I said, man, just great to be back, and I loved it. Just wish that you could have been there with me, but I know that you was on the rock, so it was cool that we were able to go to both tracks and have a good night of racing.
Yeah, man, it's a really good thing, and I mean that's something that we've talked about going into this season. Is there's going to be times, well, first of all, I can tell you overall, just because of other stuff that I've got going on in life, and an 8-year-old that's not going to be 8 for very long, and just stuff that he's involved with, with baseball and some fun things like that. I'm going to be able to be at the track less than, I can tell you for sure less than I was last year. I want to get to the track as many times as I can, but, I think there's going to be times for us it's just part of what we're trying to do here, where we're gonna have to go to 2 different places at one night. As much as we like being at the racetrack and hanging out, we're good buddies outside of this podcast and enjoy going racing together, but there's going to be times where it's a good thing for us to be able to go to 2 different places and check out 2 events and in one night. So that was something we got to do this past weekend. Rockcastle was just tremendous, man. Was really cool to see rolling up in that place. It was late when I got there, unfortunately, but got there just before Hot Lap started. Didn't have a whole lot of time to even get around and talk to many people before the action got started there, but the place was absolutely packed. I think the last number I saw was 96 cars on the grounds there for opening night at Rockcastle Speedway. Just every single class, man, was packed and full fields in every class, and really was great racing. It's Rockcastle. A lot of times you see, like many tracks, especially when you get in the heat of the summer, a lot of the racing action is around the bottom of the racetrack. Not last Saturday night at Rockcastle. Everything was on the top predominantly. It was a little bit choppy in the corners, which really I think made it a good thing, because you had a good low line, you had a good high line, and really made for some good racing. In every class there, but Rockcastle is a fun place, man. It's just it's kind of one of those places you always know what you're going to get when you go. It's consistent, and just as far as the racetrack goes. And Saturday night was no different. I mean, like I said, every class was a really good race with Brandon Fouts. Be honest with you, I didn't know exactly who he was when he came out onto the racetrack. He kind of took me off guard there, and I ended up going to my race pass to figure out who it was. Man, that dude's fast, in that car, and then figure out that it's Brandon Fouts, and it makes sense. So, but he won the Pro Late Model feature. Blake Brown won modifieds and super stocks both. I think there's a few times there at Rockcastle he's done that over the last couple years. Let's see. I can't remember who won front wheel drives. I watched it, but I can't remember. Somebody out there will have to tell me. And then the Crown Vics, man, for the first night out there, you had 16, I think is what it ended up being there.
That's great.
First race for the Crown Vics there at Rockcastle, you had 16 of them, and I tell you what, those things, man, they are just so much fun to watch. Like in the heat races and in the feature, the best race of the night, hands down, was Rockcastle Speedway. So that was just really cool to see. It was really cool to see that there at Rockcastle. So, are you able to hear me okay? My audio just kind of went.
Yeah, you've kind of glitched a little bit, but I can see you pretty good right now.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal. So, yeah, but I mean, like I said, it was just a great night there. overall, and just really a fun night. Like I said, packed house, a lot of fans there as well. So yeah, we got to cover two separate events there, and at both places, and good opening night for both of our local racetracks there.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna kind of give a shout out, I guess you'd say. Um, Emotional victory for Ben Harmon. That was his first feature win in the open wheel at Lake Cumberland Speedway. So that was really cool to see that young man win that one. But yeah, he got a little emotional, and just a hats off to him. Adrian Smith Jr. won the hobby stock feature. As we said, Hayden Cardwell won the American All-Star Series Crate Lake Model Race. See, Jacob Todd won the front-wheel drive mini stocks. And I'm trying to think of his name in the Crown Vics. He's from Bardstown. Somebody put it out there, number 45. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
that was cool. And I was able to do the Victory Lane interviews that night as well. But just a good night of racing, man. Good opener, and just looking forward to racing both of those tracks throughout the season, and then all of our tracks here in the area. Just really ready to go, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was Raymond Fuson won the front wheel drive feature there at Rockcastle. Thanks, Greg Miller, for helping me out there. Sorry, Raymond. It's funny because I didn't recognize him in that car. He's got a new scheme on that race car. I didn't recognize him there at first. A nice looking race car. He parked it in Victory Lane there at Rockcastle Speedway. So, yeah, fun night overall. Well, Wes, let's go ahead and let's not waste any more time coming off our weekend recap. Like I said, it was a great night of racing, but we do have Wayne Bowen here on our let's see, Absolute Seamless Gutters Hotline. This guest segment is presented by Fast Track Plumbing. Be sure to give our friends over there at Fast Track Plumbing a call for all of your plumbing needs. They'll take care of you for sure. But yeah, we do have Wayne Bowen here on the line with us. Wayne, I appreciate you joining us this evening. Yeah. Yeah. You'll enjoy it for sure, man. I believe you will. It's funny. Wes Lenham, the other host here of Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live, is on the line with us as well. So you'll hear from him. But no, I'm really glad that you came on here with us tonight, Wayne. I told Wes I called you, and are you able to hear him, Wes?
No, I can't hear him.
Hang on just a second. I don't know what could be going on with this thing here. Technical difficulties right off the bat with
always
guest on the hotline here. Let's see. You might get out of it, buddy. I can hear him loud and clear, but you all aren't hearing anything.
I could barely hear him, just a little bit.
Well, everything's
have you got a volume maybe?
Everything's on. Everything's plugged in. Everything's on. Good thing is we can edit this part out for the podcast, the Spotify and Apple, but we can't edit it out on
right.
Live, so it'll be all right. So I had to having to figure this out here on the fly. Never had an issue before. I'm doing everything the same way I always have. So technology, it's good when it works. Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, I can hear him, just no one else. No one else can. I'm not sure what
And when I can
possibly
hear
could.
him, I can barely hear him, like a
You
whisper.
you can just barely hear him.
Hmm.
He said he can just barely hear you, but something's going on here that's well, maybe our $high board's already tearing up on us. Yeah, as soon as I called you, I could hear a difference in like my headset. So I don't know I don't know what could have.
Have him hang up and call back and see.
Yeah, let me try to hang up and call you back and see if it fixes anything. All right, okay, buddy. Sorry about that. Here we go. Let's try it again.
Sorry about this, guys.
It's got to be something going on with this board because I've never had this issue before. Never had this issue before at all. So. All right, I can hear you. Can you hear him, Wes? You got anything? No, nothing. Okay. All right. Well,
I barely hear him. Like it's just like he's in a barrel.
yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Wayne. I think you are off the hook tonight, man. I don't know what's going on with this thing. I'm gonna have to readjust and figure it out. We'll get back with you. I really want to get you on here. I don't think it would be. It definitely shouldn't be.
What was he asking?
He he was asking if it could be the landline. I don't think so. I'll have to work on this thing and figure it out. Definitely want to get you back on here sometime, though, buddy. I'm sorry about that. We'll get it figured out and get you back on here sometime. Okay. Thanks, buddy. See you.
Well, shoot.
Man, that's just daggone.
That sucks.
I don't know what. Yeah. It really does. But you know, you'll have days like that. I reckon we'll just have to try it again sometime with Wayne. Honest to goodness, I don't know what it could be. We do this all the time. We did it several times last year. Had people on the phone and it worked. It worked perfect. I don't know. As soon as I called him though, I could hear like a difference in the audio on my headset. And I knew something was up, but I was just hoping that it was. Would be all right. So I don't know, man, because it wasn't even registering on the switchboard that I've got in front of me here that he was talking. So I knew something was going on there. So we will get Wayne. Man, I just hate so bad when something like that happens.
Because I was looking forward to talking to him and having him come on.
Yeah, it would have been a great conversation for sure, and I was really looking forward to it. I just like I said, I don't know what it could possibly be. Let's try answering another call. I'm just curious at this. Let's see if we can hear this. Go ahead. You're on the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. Go ahead.
I can't hear it either.
We got nothing. So I don't know, man. We'll figure it out. You know what? We're used to technical difficulties here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. So we'll figure it out and get back to it another day, man. We'll have to try it again. We might have to get Dwayne Taylor to come out here since he's our hotline sponsor with Absolute Seamless Gutters. See if he can't figure our hotline out for us since we can't seem to do so. So, hey, you know what? We tried.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll have him back on there.
Yeah.
So
we'll figure it out. We'll get back to it at some point in the future. Well, I tell you what, since we can't talk to Wayne Bowen, let's go ahead and get to our driver of the week presented by Wayne's Auto Repair, Wes. And this week's, like I said, I'm telling you, it's completely random, the guys I select for this driver of the week. Usually, to be honest with you, I pick it like the day of the show, because that's just how much of a slacker I am. No, actually, I'm so busy, and it's like, oh man, it's showtime. I better get somebody on here. So I just completely randomly pick someone, and this week's Wayne's Auto Repair driver of the week is the driver of the 2H open wheel modified, Josh Hampton. Man, I tell you what, I've noticed something at the start of this year. Josh Hampton is he's finished the year last year with a win in the King of the Rock there at Rockcastle Speedway. And now this year he started the year with 3 out of 4 races he's finished on the podium in the top 3 in 3 out of his first 4 races. He finished second a couple weeks ago at Thunder Mountain Speedway. He finished second this past weekend there at Rockcastle. Just a great race between him and Blake Brown. They traded the lead there a few times, but man, Josh Hampton is really on a tear, just running really good. Last part of last season and beginning of this year.
Yeah, and that's so good to see. I know he's had some bad luck throughout the years, and just man, he probably right toward the end of last season just started running really well, and just happy for him and his team to get 2024 started on the right foot, and some of them podium finishes to get that season started is always good, and I got a good feeling here in the next couple races he's going to be setting in victory lane with that 2H car.
Yeah, I think so too, for sure. And I mean, Josh he's one of those guys that I really like watching him race, because he's one of those guys, man. Like he's not afraid to mix it up a little bit, and like I've never seen him get into anybody else at all. I don't know that I've ever seen him touch anybody else on the racetrack, but he's not afraid to bend his own sheet metal. You know what I mean? Like if it comes down to it, and I like watching that, man. It's just with him, it's gonna be a good show. You know what I'm talking about. He's just one of those guys that's not afraid. He's not gonna bend anybody else's sheet metal, but he's not afraid to bend his own, and that's really fun to watch.
Yeah, he's more nervous and scared to talk to us when we're walking through the pits than he is to jump up on that high side and scrape the wall. I mean, it's like we go by to talk to him. He's over there hiding.
I know. But, yeah, it's true. Always fun guy to talk to at the racetrack. He's good to talk to us, but we get that camera out and he's like, I'm done. He's out. Yeah, he's headed for the trailer, running off hiding somewhere. That's for sure. Yeah,
I think that one night at Rockcastle, he ran down to the pond. Yeah, it was behind his hauler.
I think he did, man. You ain't kidding. I really think he did. So yeah, no, he'll take off if he gets a chance. So that's for sure. But yeah, no, I mean he's just a lot of fun to watch. Like I said, so yeah, when I called it, when I sent him a message to tell him he was our Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week, I was sure to lead it off with no interview required. So like. Yeah,
all capital letters.
Yeah, I was afraid if I didn't lead off with that, he might just ignore my message, man, because he's not about the interviews for sure. But he told me a little bit about his racing career and his race team and stuff. He said he started when he was in elementary school racing go-karts. So, he started racing at a young age, and he said when a lot of the go-kart tracks around started shutting down, I think it was like the late 2000s. He said he switched over and drove a late model there for a few years, and then got out of racing for several years. I think it was Kenneth Clemens, who we talked about a few weeks ago, said sort of the same thing. Got out of racing for a few years, Josh did, and he said in 2020 he decided to get started back into it in the open wheel modified division. So he's been back into the sport for several years, and I think that's cool, man, because people don't realize how hard it is to drive a race car, and to not be back in the sport for no longer than he has. And it's not just here, man. Like he won the Sweetheart at 411. But not just even talking about wins, like Josh Hampton is always in the mix. Like he's always up front.
Yeah.
And man, driving a race car is a really hard thing to do, and to not be back into driving cars for as long as he has, man, it's really cool to see, because that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I've never raced one. Maybe one of these days I'll get to jump behind the wheel, but he's always in the mix. He's always fast. Seem like wherever he goes, he's always up front and in the mix, like you said.
Yeah, he is for sure. Well, you want to know why the hotline wasn't working, Wes?
Oh no, why?
I didn't have the cable plugged in the right place. So yeah, that's a good reason for why it's not working. That's not the first time I've done that.
That's not the first time. That's about the third or fourth.
Yeah, I know.
Sarah's going to have to start going behind you and double checking everything.
Well, good luck. We'd be in bad shape if you're double checking me out there.
I didn't say me. I said Sarah.
Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah.
I didn't say me.
Sarah, maybe it might work.
Said
yeah.
Sarah.
It's But man, yeah. So it doesn't work if you don't plug it in the right place, man.
Yeah.
That just golly. Well, I tell you what. I don't know what to say about myself right now. But yeah, Josh Hampton. He said his race team pretty much just consists of his family and friends. Everybody around him pulls together to help in any way that they can, all the way to his daughters on wash day. So of course, dirt racing being a family thing, man. No different with Josh Hampton. Like I said, he did win the Sweetheart at 411, and then winning the King of the Rock at Rockcastle Speedway last year, he said was his two biggest accomplishments, and two big accomplishments too, for sure, because it is not easy to win a race, and he's done it a couple of times, and I know he's got several more ahead of him. I don't doubt that one bit.
And both of those two races right there are two dandies to having you win column on your statistics for sure. And I feel a couple more big wins in his future, and some this year for sure.
Yeah, I do too, for sure, no doubt. I don't know, Wayne. You think we should give him a try, like one more time, just to see if, I don't know, man, he might have give up on us by now. You think we ought to?
Well, I don't know. Try.
Yeah, let's try it. What we got to lose at this point?
We don't. We don't.
What's the worst that could happen?
We've already had the worst.
Well, let's try it here. See if I can't get him on the line. Let's see if we can talk to Wayne Bowen here. I've got a good idea that's going to work this time. Let's see. We're just going to do that.
That already sounds better.
We're just going to do this live on there. He may not answer. He may give up on us.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
See, too late, man. Too late. We tried. We can say we tried.
He's done went to bed. He give up on us.
He said, "Phooey on them. I ain't fooling with them no more." Yeah. Hey, man, it's just I hate that, because like Wayne, I called him and I said, "Hey, man, told him who I was, and I said, we'd like to get you on the podcast sometime." He said, "Well, give me a call back here in a few weeks. I'll think about it. Just give me a call back and I'll think about it." So I called him back a few weeks later and told him who I was again. "Hey, man, I'd like to get you on the show." "Oh, man, I just don't know if I'm down. I'm kind of I'm kind of bashful. Don't like that kind of thing." I said, "Okay, I understand. No problem. I get it completely." And I said, "But you've meant a lot to this sport, and I know there's a lot of people out there that'd like to hear from you. It'd just be a whole lot of fun." And he says, "You just changed my mind. I'll do it." So, yeah.
I remember after that you called and you let me know, and you said, "Well, that was pretty easy talking you into it." And he said, "Well," he said, I'm going to do it." So,
yeah.
Man, I hate that our technical difficulties, issues bite us again, but we will definitely have him back on.
Yeah, so after I talked him into it and everything, and then have all this issue, I plugged the cable in the wrong hole, and we don't get to do it after all, man. That's just unfortunate. All right, sponsors for Josh Hampton. We'll finish this Wayne's Auto Repair Driver of the Week. Sponsors for Josh Hampton: Hardline Construction, Todd Metals, HTL Technologies, 859 Off Road, and Powder Coating, and South Central Pools. Those are the sponsors for Josh Hampton. So really looking forward to the rest of the year and seeing how many more wins he stacks up here in 2024, because I would bet a solid amount of money that it'll be more than one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think he's going to get multiples this year.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, let's go ahead and hit a commercial break here real quick. When we come back, we've got plenty more to talk about, including what's to come this weekend, and of course our steak dinner pick'em challenge. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chris Lowry with Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. From simple service work to full paints, roofing, flooring, and everything in between, we're your one-stop shop for your home maintenance and remodeling needs. Our family has been serving the Richmond area for 3 generations, and we're proud to continue that today. You also voted us the best general contractor in Madison County in 2022. We thank you for that honor. Give us a call for all your construction needs at 859-353-1133.
And welcome back to the Wilson Plumbing Studio. We've got, like I said, plenty more to talk about here. Wes, a big weekend coming up here in Central Kentucky. Well, not just Central Kentucky, but all over the Bluegrass State here coming up this weekend. Our Keltner Contracting weekend outlook is jam-packed. Once again, we've got action on Friday and Saturday night this weekend, beginning with on Friday the Finn Watson Memorial at Ponderosa Speedway for the Spring National Series. Really looking forward to that one. That's going to be an awesome show opening night there for the pond.
Yeah, that one is always special, with it being the Finn Watson Memorial. But to have that for opening night at Ponderosa Speedway, I just expect for the pits and the grandstands to be full of race cars and full of fans for Friday night.
Yeah, it definitely will be, and I've already seen a bunch of big names there already committed to running that show there. Talked to Jeff Watson on Saturday night. He was at Rockcastle in the Revolution car. Said he wanted to save the Swartz for Friday night there for his dad's memorial race, and he was really looking forward to it. I know that's a race that means a whole lot to him and the rest of the Watson family. Jeff talked to me for quite a few minutes there about just what that event means to him. And one of the cool things about that race is it's been run at a few of our racetracks here in Central Kentucky over the years, and back at Ponderosa Speedway this year. So just really a cool event honoring one of the best to ever do it here in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, really looking forward to it, and love Kentucky's baddest bull ring there at Ponderosa Speedway.
Yeah, I do too, man. And they've got a huge season this year coming up. Man, I'm like you. I love that place, and can't wait, man. Just some awesome events coming up, starting with this Friday night.
I would say probably one of the biggest years of racing there at the pond in quite a while, man. I mean, when we had the Brian Abner on and he gave us the season preview for Ponderosa and Lake Cumberland, man, the big shows and the big series that's rolling into the pond was just crazy, and that's just hats off to Brandon and his crew and Larry Yance. I mean, the surface is going to be top notch on Friday night. I think they got some new clay in there over the off season, and I can't wait, man. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be awesome. It really will. So be sure to make plans for Friday night to head out there and check out the Finn Watson Memorial. They've also got a regular show at Mountain Motor Complex coming up that'll be their season opener. They were scheduled to start things there at Mountain Motor last Friday night. It got rained out, but they're looking forward to getting their season started over there. So if you're over in that area, I'm sure many of you are. There's a huge fan base over there in eastern Kentucky around Mountain Motor Complex. Go by, check them out. For their season opener. Also, this coming Friday night, it's very rare that you have 3 events coming up on a Friday night, but also there's mud runs happening at Rockcastle Speedway. Not dirt racing, but mud runs for them over there. They've got the mud pit ready for the mud run, so should be a lot of fun there as well.
Tell us where's that pit at? Is it where they got that located?
Yeah, they've got it located. It's in the infield, like pretty much where the kart track used to be. I mean, that's the general vicinity of where it's at. It's just pretty much they took out the kart track and put that in. So that's where it's at. So I would say if you're going over there, one word of advice, you'll be able to see it good from the pit grandstands. They're only going to have the pit side open, but then they've also got plenty of seating over there on the hillside for bring your lawn chairs or whatever, and you can see it from the pit side very well. And they have concession stands and everything open there too. So first time they've ever done anything like this, so I know they're excited to get going with that and kind of see how that plays out. But they've had a lot of really good feedback from people, and I think that's a really great idea for racetracks to do. Similar to what Brandon Hargrove's done over the last couple of years there at Lake Cumberland Ponderosa with having the demolition derbies. Yeah. It gives a lot of people a chance in the community that may not necessarily be dirt racing fans or maybe even ever been to a dirt race or a dirt track, a chance to come see the place, and I think there's a good chance to come back to see a race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when these owners and promoters have different ideas like that to bring new things on the grounds, and it's still motorsports, so that's cool. And I know, man, Brandon has he's really done good with his demolition derbies there at Lake Cumberland. So yeah. I look for the mud runs to be good there at the Rock. I mean, you got Cromer Ridge there close. You've got Wildcat. So right. I mean, you've got a lot of people in that area that love that kind of stuff. So I look forward to seeing a big crowd show up.
Yeah, and I think they will because they're having 4-wheelers, side-by-sides, dune buggies, and of course all the other trucks and normal stuff and all that thing too, man. Like I wonder how many 4-wheelers and side-by-sides that they're going to have in that place over there in Rockcastle County. Man, it's untelling. I don't know. They may not be able to fit them all in there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They might have to put a cap on it and say, "All right, we're full. We've hit our limit."
I know, man, because it's there's a lot of over there, and I've said too for a long time. I mean, over there in Rockcastle County, like there's so many people that aren't familiar with the track, maybe never been to the track. And for all those people, giving them a chance to come see that place is a really good thing, for them. So it'll be a good thing. Can't wait to hear about. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it, but I can't wait to hear about how that goes. I'm sure it'll go great for them over there on Friday night. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to Saturday. So we got the Johnny Wheeler Memorial at Lake Cumberland Speedway. That's back-to-back shows for the Spring National Series, Ponderosa, and then following it up at Lake Cumberland on Saturday.
Yeah, just a cool weekend for Central and Southeastern Kentucky, and all the state of Kentucky, and even even regionally and nationally to honor those two guys, but especially, I mean, for the people from Campbellsville, because both of those guys, Campbellsville guys, and so just cool to honor both of them in one weekend at two of our tracks with Ponderosa and Lake Cumberland. Just a cool deal. And, 7,500 on Friday night, 10,000 on Saturday. So big money on the line. Like I said earlier, I'm looking forward to big car counts in all the classes, especially super late models.
Yeah, me too. And unfortunately, I never got to meet Finn. Wish I would have. I didn't, but I did get to meet and get to know Johnny Wheeler. Man, Johnny was just such an. We talk about this every year, but we keep talking about him and maybe saying the same thing. But he's just just an awesome guy, and like one of those guys that would do more with less, and the stuff that he was competitive in, the equipment that he had, and what he was able to do with it. He was just a racer, man, and just a great guy and a great race car driver. And can't wait to honor him once again at Lake Cumberland on Saturday.
He definitely lived up to his name. The man was a wheel man for sure.
Yeah, he certainly was. That is for sure. The wheelman got his nickname honest for sure.
He sure did. He was competitive. It didn't matter where he went, and like you said, most of the time in less than everybody else he was competing with, but it didn't matter. He was just so talented and such a good driver that he still would beat competitors that had way more money in their equipment than he did, but it didn't matter. He would drive the wheels off of a race car.
Yeah, he would. And he was a lot of fun to watch. So really looking forward to that. Also, we've got the season opener coming up at Mud Lick Valley Raceway. Another one of those tracks that originally scheduled their season opener for last weekend, unfortunately got rained out, so they're going to run it this Saturday night for their season opener over there at Mud Lick Valley Raceway, the second season for them over there. And I know they've got some big events coming up there too, so they'll get their season started on Saturday night. And then they got the Lynx Zone Kids Night of Wheels at Florence Speedway. Man, Florence, they get started early. I don't know. I think they got rained out once, but this might be their fourth event, at least scheduled. So they're already well into their season up there at Florence.
Yeah. And doing good as far as, good car counts and getting the show on the road, starting early and getting the fans out of there after a great night of racing. So, they've got it rocking and rolling this year.
Yeah, they do for sure. And I know I was reading about it a little bit earlier. They've got several giveaways and bikes and all kinds of stuff with wheels to give away to several kids there in attendance at Florence Speedway on Saturday night. So if you're up in that area, take the kids and might come home with something with wheels on it, and it'll be a lot of fun for them up there at Florence on Saturday night. So, like I said, big weekend of racing, another one. The season is well underway, and get out, support your local racetrack. One of them. Pick one, go support them. Plenty of options and really good options this coming weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Go and support your tracks.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. Let's try this. Let's go to the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline. Let's see if it's working now. Go ahead. Tell us who you are. You're on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live.
Robert Roberson.
Oh, Roberson back.
Roberson
Man,
in the house.
you know what, Roberson? I knew we could count on you. If we couldn't count on anybody else calling the hotline, I knew we could count on you. What do you got for us?
I want to say, we did the thoughts and prayers for Donnie Kaufman. Donnie Kaufman's been in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Donnie Kaufman has been sick. He's been in the hospital. Certainly prayers for him. Roberson, Donnie Kaufman, one of the best to ever do it, man. He's just Donnie Kaufman as an announcer was just so much fun to listen to. There's nobody like him. I mean, it's just really cool. Just some of the stuff he would say. He was the one that come out with the woo pig suey, the woo pig calling the road hogs out at Richmond, and the spin cycle and the kick. I remember Donnie Kaufman, he would always say, "Kick back, Loretta, honey." And
yes, he did.
Yeah, and he didn't know it. He announced when my parents ran Clay City Raceway. He was the announcer over there, and he didn't know that my mom's name was Loretta, and he'd said that for years. But he came over there and he'd say, "Kick back, Loretta, honey," and then my mom told him, you know that's my name, right? He kind of embarrassed him. So, but yeah, he had said that for years.
Hall of Famer Donnie Kaufman.
Hey, Wes, what did you think about how Doc Wilson's been running?
Dalton Wilson's been running great. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's got Ponderosa and Lake Cumberland on his schedule for the weekend. So looking forward to the 18D car being in the house at both of those tracks this weekend. He's been running really well, and he started the season off hot early. Got his first Lucas Oil win the last race down at East Bay on the final night there on that Saturday night, and
I think he'll finish in the top three.
I think that's a good possibility, Roberson. He's still got a lot of season left, but he's off to a hot start.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good bet for sure. All right, Roberson. Let's leave with this. I'll give you this one more thing, then we got to move on to somebody else. But you called earlier. I couldn't get the hotline to work. You just wanted to say something. You just wanted to say something to Wes. What was it? You said something about fishing, I think.
He don't know how to catch no fish.
Yeah.
Don't know how to catch no fish. Well, I do my best.
Yeah, he's a pro angler, man. He's a pro. He's got sponsors and everything going on. Roberson, we appreciate you, buddy. We'll see you at the racetrack.
Have a good night, buddy. See ya.
Oh man, always a good time when he calls.
I don't know how to catch no fish.
Yeah, you don't know how to catch no fish. That's what he said earlier. I thought that was funny. I had to let him get that in before I got him off the line.
Roberson, yes. I'm glad we was able to get him back on the line because we couldn't hear him earlier.
No, I couldn't hear him. So, but like I said, if we can count on him to call, if nobody else will call us here and talk to us on the hotline. So
he's always fun to talk to at the track when we go, and I always have to go talk to him wherever we're at. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, let's go ahead and get to our DirtmanDiecast.com steak dinner pick'em challenge. Do want to thank DirtmanDiecast.com. Be sure to check him out at the racetrack. I know he's over at Mud Lick quite a bit set up, and Atomic and some of those places. If you see him, go by and purchase something off him. Let him know Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live sent you, or go to DirtmanDiecast.com for all your collectible needs, and he'll take care of you on that. So, steak dinner pick'em challenge, Wes. 0 for 2 last weekend for both of us. Nobody picked a winner. Man, just a tough stretch for us there.
We had a rain out on Friday. Or on Saturday at Florence, so rain out, and then I picked Skylar to win at Lake Cumberland, and you picked Old Faithful
Yeah.
The Tennessee in there, and
Yeah, I did.
um,
And for the
he,
first time ever, he let me down. I don't know.
I know it. I know it.
It's just
Uh,
unfortunate.
I don't know what happened to him, but there was a Tennessee driver that won it.
He
But
did, yeah.
not the one that you picked, not the
I
one that
know,
I
man.
picked. So
But what is it? What is it
I
with
don't
Tennessee
know.
drivers in that pro late model division there
They love
at
Lake Cumberland Speedway.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, if I was them, I would too, man. Because
Yeah.
they just they dominate that place.
That's kind of like a couple years ago when everybody that came to race at Richmond they won. They was from West Virginia. It was either a carpenter or a carrier or a dome. I mean, it just West Virginia ruled Richmond Raceway.
Right. It did. Yeah. No, you're right about that for sure. So now it's Tennessee there at Lake Cumberland. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's go. Of course, we've got to pick the winner for the Finn Watson Memorial at Ponderosa on Friday night. Just a huge event here in our area. So, man, this is a tough one.
It is.
You're up 2-0. So I really want the first pick, but at the same time, this is almost one of those situations where I almost feel like it's best to not be in the leader. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, you're gonna hit lap traffic first. So I almost feel like maybe I'd be better to let you pick first and then go after you. So I think
whichever you want to do. I mean, I'm up 2-0. You're the host of the show. I mean, whichever you say. I'm good.
I think that's what I'm going to do tonight. I don't like my chances being the leader in counter and lap traffic here at the pond. So I'm going to defer and let you have first pick.
Oh, he's deferring. Let's see. So are we going to pick? We're going to pick the Finn Watson and then pick the Johnny Wheeler Memorial as well.
We'll do both. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is a tough decision because even today, more and more drivers that are expected, and as you said, some top name drivers in the country. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with at the Ponderosa Speedway. I'm going with Roberson's buddy Dalton Wilson in the 18D to get the win in the Finn Watson Memorial.
Yeah, I mean that's a good pick, and honestly, I thought that's who you would pick. So I really just wanted to do you a favor and let you get who you wanted. Trying to look out for you, buddy. But good one. So Chris Rubel says Mike Marlar has that. I don't see him as being.
If Mikey's there, that would be another top pick. Mikey's had a good year so far, and he's dang good at Ponderosa.
He is, yeah. So I mean, if he's,
I don't know if Mikey's going to be in the house. Who knows?
I don't know either. Is Lucas racing this weekend? Are they off?
They start back next weekend, so
okay.
it could be a possibility. But he could also go and run some World Outlaws stuff too.
He could.
I think they're in Tennessee and in Talladega on Saturday, I believe. Thunderhill on Friday, and I think they're at Talladega on Saturday.
You know what? I think I'm going to gamble on it.
Oh,
I'm going to go with Mike Marlar just with the chance that he's there, and if Marlar's there, man, I don't know. He's really hard to beat at both of those places, but Ponderosa, man, just look out.
Come from 22nd, 22nd place last year in 50 laps, and passed little Bobby Pierce like he is setting still.
He sure did. Yes, he sure did. So, hey, it's worth the risk here to take Mike Marlar. Just hope he shows up on Friday night at the pond.
Mikey, go elsewhere.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. Saturday night at Lake Cumberland Speedway, Johnny Wheeler Memorial, honoring the wheelman there. I'll go ahead and take first pick on that one, since I'm making the rules up here as I go.
Yeah,
I'm going to go.
it's like wiffle ball rules in the backyard. Josh just makes up the rules as we go.
I know, yeah. They're always in my favor, too. You guarantee it. So
Always,
yeah,
always.
always in my favor. Yeah, I'm going to go with Josh Rice there at Lake Cumberland. I can't believe we got
Look
through.
at that. I knew.
Yeah.
I
I
knew
know,
you was going
man.
to do that. That's why you
Yeah.
took first pick.
Well, I
Dang.
can't believe we got through Ponderosa. Nobody picked him. I mean, I know there's some, Brandon Overton's going to be there. I saw, quite a few others, but you know what? Josh Rice, hard to go through 2 picks at either of those racetracks and somebody not pick him. So I'll go ahead and take him off the board.
Yeah, see, here we go. Wiffle ball rules. I knew you was going to pick Rice.
Yeah.
All right. Man. And he was so good there last year. He got dialed in at Lake Cumberland. And he did it at Ponderosa too. Had a really good year at both of those tracks. So man, Rice at Lake Cumberland's a great pick. I'm going with the Evans, Georgia driver. I'm going Brandon Overton to win it at Lake Cumberland Speedway. It is.
There it is.
And here's the deal. Mike Jewell says do a bluegrass driver. I didn't do bluegrass drivers, but both of them's got car owners in the state of Kentucky. So,
yep, they do. Yeah, very, very true.
You got the Wells Motorsports ride with Overton, and then Dalton Wilson in the Ratliff ride. So, both of my picks are Kentucky based teams.
Yeah, and Dalton Wilson, man, I really thought you would go with that. No kidding. I honestly didn't. I mean, it's hard to go against that pick, to be honest with you, because you take Gullett and then and Tungett and those guys, how much experience they have between themselves and what they do over at Ponderosa. I know this ain't home for Dalton, but it is for them, and they know that place, So
I mean, those two guys know that track about as good as anybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, as far as Ponderosa goes, probably the three most people that know it the best would be Larry Yance, and then Tungett and Gullett.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, and that track just suits Dalton. I mean, he's fast there. If you don't have no bad luck and can get through the lap traffic and outrun everybody, I think he'd be tough to beat there.
Oh yeah, I think so too, for sure. So, all right, we'll see how it shakes out. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great weekend of racing. Be sure to head to the racetrack and enjoy the weekend. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Can't wait for it. It has been a fun show, except for the blunder on my part. I do apologize to Wayne Bowen and everyone who, including myself, who was looking forward to hearing what he had to say. I will do my best to try to get him back on here. Like I said, I'll do my best. I hope I can make that happen. We'll see, and if I can, we'll have him back on here. And again, apologies for that. We'll try it again in the future.
Yep, it's been another good show, buddy. Appreciate everybody for getting on here and watching and commenting, and just really looking forward to the weekend full of racing again. Just like we said earlier, go out and support these tracks and what they do for us as fans. And hopefully we'll see you all there this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to mention one other thing. I almost forgot. Jeff Soxie, I talked to him today. He's looking for someone to help him at Rockcastle in a couple of weeks, maybe some events before that, but certainly Rockcastle on May the 4th. He's wanting to get someone just to stand in the infield, hold the camera for Victory Lane interviews. You'll get a pass in. You get in free. You get to stand in the infield, get that vantage point. It'd be a huge help to him if someone could help him out with that. He's asked for it. He hasn't gotten a response. Man, Jeff, he does a great job with those videos, and he can't do both. He's really wanting to add that to his videos just to capture those Victory Lane interviews. So if you could help him with that, please reach out to him. message him, let him know you're willing to help. Like I said, you'll get a free admission there on May the 4th. And possibly some events before that, but help our good buddy out by doing that. It would mean a lot to him, I know for sure.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Does such a good job with what he does and captures at our racetracks. So surely there's somebody out there, and I think it would be cool if it's a younger guy or gal that can help him and learn from him, because I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge, racing wise, and all that techie stuff that he does with his videos. And somebody help him out, and it'd be great for whoever helps him, and then for him as well.
Yeah.
And then one more thing I did forget. Brian Delperdang, thank you. Terry Greenwell won the Crown Vics at Lake Cumberland Speedway on Saturday out of Bardstown, Kentucky, and so wanted to make sure I gave him a shout out, because I had forgot that he was the one that got the victory there.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome night.
All right, it was awesome. Thank you to everyone for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. We'll do it again next week, same time, same place. So this has been Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. We'll see you at the races.
Y'all have a good night.